For a moment of silence, Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask the members and attendees to keep the family of Rabbi Stephen Schwartz in their thoughts and prayers. Unfortunately, he lost his wife, Becky Geller Schwartz. She's only 58 years old. So keep that family in your thoughts and prayers, and their children, Talia, Mirav, and Joshua.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, and I'm sure David would love to join me on this, Dorothy Hitton, her friends called her Dot. She was a community leader for the Bowerman Laurel Beach Community Association for many, many years. She lived there for decades, and she was a real warrior for the community. And she worked very closely with, I think David had the community the first 4 years. And then I inherited it through redistricting. And she was somebody that really fought hard for her community, and she had been ill. And was it yesterday or the day before, David, that she passed?
It was the day before.
Yeah, day before.
Yeah.
So she will certainly be missed, and her family live with her in her home. So I'm sure that's going to be a huge void for them, and definitely a void for the community.
Very special person in the history of the East Side. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. And what I'll do, I'll just add that a friend of mine, good friend and retired lieutenant in the Baltimore City Fire Department named Michael Jensen. He was the chaplain for the fire department, or one of their chaplains. And he's just been a tremendous asset to the Baltimore City Fire Department and the fire department community. He just passed recently, and standing room only in his funeral, and he's just a real good guy, and we'll miss him. So why don't we all pause for a moment of silence to remember all of those mentioned today and others. Thank you. I'll now call upon Councilman Marks to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Thank you very much, Councilman Marks.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of February 7th?
I move it.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Journal is approved. Ayes have it. Enrollment of bills. Bills 1-22 and 2-22 were passed by the council and signed by the executive and hereby enrolled. Mr. Secretary, will now read all bills for introduction.
Mr. Chairman, the following bills are for introduction only this evening. First is Bill 10-22, sponsored by Councilman Patoka, entitled Zoning Regulations, Uses Permitted in the Business Major Zone. Bill 11-22 is sponsored by Councilman Quirk, entitled Zoning Regulations, Uses Permitted in the Business Local Zone. Bill 12-22 is sponsored by Councilman Jones, entitled County Code, also co-sponsored by Councilman Marks, entitled County Code, Board of Appeals, Rules of Practice and Procedure. And the final bill for introduction only this evening is Bill 13-22, sponsored by Councilman Marks, Zoning Regulations, Uses Permitted in the Business Local Zone. That is a separate bill from Bill 11-22, which has a similar title.
Thank you. The council will now consider all bills for final reading and vote. Mr. Secretary, first bill, please.
First bill is Bill 3-22, Current Expense Budget Code Enforcement Program.
Mr. Hickey.
Right. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the council. I'm here to speak for the administration, requesting a supplemental appropriation of federal community development block grant funds in the amount of $62,369 to be used to support additional code enforcement activities through PAI. These funds are available due to an increase in our CDBG award from HUD, and they'll go to support code enforcement work in low to moderate income communities at 80% or below AMI.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hickey. Are there any questions or comments from the member? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call, let's see, I guess we don't need a motion. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 3-22.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch.
aye,
Ayes have it. Bill 3-22 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 4-22, Current Expense Budget Emergency Rental Assistance Program 2.
Yes, Mr. Hickey.
I'm back again.
Encore performance.
I'll do my best. The administration is requesting a supplemental appropriation of federal funds from the U.S. Treasury totaling $6,659,983. This will supplement the county's ongoing eviction prevention efforts. The funds represent a supplemental award from the U.S. Treasury of ERA, Emergency Rental Assistance 2 funds, that will be added to the $19.6 million the council has already appropriated. These funds will be allocated directly out to our provider partners to continue their rental assistance work.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments from the members? Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 4-22.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
aye,
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Bill 4-22 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next bill, please.
Next is Bill 5-22, sponsored by Councilman Crandall, Zoning Regulations, Uses Permitted in the Manufacturing Heavy Zone.
Mr. Crandall?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Secretary, we have an amendment. Would you like to recite that before we talk about the bill?
Yes, sir, Councilman. The amendment is relatively minor and technical. The bill permits the storage of truck tractors and trailers on surface parking lots. This amendment would just tweak that language just a little bit to state that the storage, to allow the storage of truck tractors, truck trailers, and shipping containers on the surface parking lots.
Okay. So that considered, with that minor amendment, Bill 522 would allow the parking and storage of, as you just heard, of trucks and trailers and storage containers in very large tracks in the MH zone in Baltimore County. However, there's only one large track in Baltimore County that in which this would apply, and that would be the development at Trade Point Atlantic. So this just goes along with the other work that the council has done to expedite the job development and economic development that is certainly coming right before our eyes in the last few years. The bill also would help to alleviate the need for storage containers, especially or the need for storage facilities for those to be outside of this industrial zone, and keep the containers on the Trade Point Atlantic property. And it would also help to alleviate truck traffic and truck parking actually in our neighborhoods in the surrounding area in Dundalk and Edgemere. So it would not alleviate it completely, but would certainly help. So I would appreciate an affirmative vote by my colleagues on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Any questions or comments from the members? Is there a motion to approve the amendment to Bill 5-22?
I'll move the amendment.
second,
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendment to Bill 5-22.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
aye,
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka.
Aye.
Ayes have it. The amendment to Bill 5-22 has passed. Is that the only amendment, Councilman Crandall?
Yes, I believe it is, Chairman Jones.
Okay, are there any additional questions or comments from the members? Is there a motion to approve Bill 5-22 as amended?
I'll move it.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Bill 5-22 as amended.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk.
Aye. The ayes have it. Bill 5-22 as amended has passed. Mr. Secretary, the chair will now consider all miscellaneous business. Sensitive testimony was taken during the work session and are available, and speakers are available to restate their testimony if necessary. If a council member has any questions regarding the particular fiscal matter, that item will be discussed as a separate matter. I'll now call upon the secretary to read the cover letter for fiscal matters 1 through 8.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Fiscal matter 1 is a purchase order with Norton Technologies USA Incorporated, support of new RSI tax and workday systems. Fiscal matter 2 is a purchase order with Renegade for the creation of the County Police Department recruiting website. Fiscal matter 3 is a contract with Advanced Corporation doing business as Advanced Relocation Systems. Fiscal matter 4 is a contract with NVA Animal Emergency Hospital LLC doing business as Animal Emergency Hospital. Fiscal matter 5 is a contract with Cintas Corporation number 2 for doormat services. Fiscal matter 6 is a contract with Colossal Contractors Incorporated for installation of waterproofing systems. And fiscal matter 7 is 18 contracts actually for personal care / in-home respite care and chore services. And the final fiscal matter number 8 is a contract with R.L. Johnson Asphalt Paving and Seal Coating Incorporated for snow removal and de-icing services.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Any questions or comments from the members?
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Chair. Yeah.
We will start with Councilman Marks.
thank you very much. Since we have an item on the agenda dealing with police recruitment, the incident this weekend in downtown Towson underscores the urgent need for Baltimore County to recruit more police officers. I know that the administration has made this a priority, and I thank them for the steps they've taken, including the signing bonus. But we have got to fill vacancies, and we've got to expand our police force. I am hearing this throughout Baltimore County, and I'm going to use my perch on the council to continue to advocate for it. So I want to thank the administration for the work it is doing, but my perspective is this has got to be an absolute priority for us, or we will see this county in a state of decline despite all the good work we're doing.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Councilman Catch, and then
Yes,
Councilman.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two things. First of all, I want to echo Councilman Marks. We, as a county, need to make this county as safe as possible. That needs to be our number one priority. And, you take a look at, in Councilman Quirk's district, the shooting at Catonsville High School and other instances around this county. We need to get control of this. And I think one of the best ways is to increase the communication between the police and the communities. It's very strong in my district, that bond that they have. And I think that's one way that we can reduce crime. The second issue, I have a question about the emergency services for animals. I believe the facility in this contract is in Bel Air. Isn't that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why? I know there's some emergency services in Baltimore County. I mean, I can name some of them. I think of an animal that might be injured in Lansdowne or other parts of the county that aren't really that close to Bel Air. And I just wondering, did any Baltimore County emergency facility bid on this contract?
I
Mr.
don't
Chair,
interrupt, and I'm sure Mr. Blades or Ms. Rogers can speak on it. But I think what that is, because I've taken both my dogs there to that emergency, I think it's for the animals that come into our Baltimore County shelter. And I think when we need special care that the vets and techs can't offer there, when it's something really, high level, I think that's when they go to the emergency vet. Somebody can clarify that. So it's not for people in the county, it's for our animal services. If somebody brings a cat in that's been hit by a car, for instance, and they just do not have the means to deal with that, somebody from animal services will put that cat in a crate and take it up to the emergency hospital in Hartford County. Is that correct? Am I saying that correctly?
yes, Madam Councilwoman, Councilman Catch, we will double check to answer your question specifically with respect to others who may have bid on the contract. I'll double check on that, but I do recall the discussion about this particular contract, and it is in line with what Madam Councilwoman Bevins indicated. It's about emergent needs, and these are animals that are within our care and custody where we have to get certain services. But we will be happy to follow up with you to let you know, did other entities bid on the contract? Off the top of my head, I just can't remember, but it is for the type of services that Councilwoman Bevins indicated.
Well, my concern is, okay, let's look at Catonsville, Lansdowne, Towson, etc. Yes, you get a call that an animal's injured and they want our animal control to pick that animal up. If the people who are our animal control picking up the animal determines that this animal needs emergency services ASAP, I am concerned about the distance, because time is critical in situations like this. So I appreciate, Madam CEO, your attention to this, and I really am curious as to who else bid on this contract, and because I think that I've heard good things about the facility in Bel Air, and it's fine with me. It's just that it seems so far. And
So Councilman, I can clarify, Madam CEO, if
Sure.
I can clarify on this,
Mhm.
on this actual contract, Councilman, this is also for our 24-hour emergencies. So this is for, as Madam CEO stated, animals that are already in our care in our Baldwin facility. If there is an emergency overnight, this was the closest facility that was able to take us for 24-hour emergency care. But I will clarify and find out as far as the bidding. Initially, this contract was bid as an emergency. We don't frequently use this hospital outside of emergencies. And they were the lowest bid as far as for 24-hour emergency care.
oh, okay.
So that's the, but I'll find out about other Baltimore County animal hospitals that we may use for other services. But I know for this particular contract, this is for yes. Yeah.
I mean, I can name
And mostly
3 of
for
them.
radiology. They also had this was the only facility that had the radiology capabilities that we don't have in Baldwin. So for us to have 24-hour access and X-ray services. So that's the case for this contract.
Sure. I understand, and I hope in the future that I just want to compliment the county on animal services. When I was first elected, the situation was not good, and I really believe that the shelters in my district, that times have changed, and that our animal services is doing a fine job. And I was just really curious because it seemed like this facility was so far away. And
Hmm.
well, I've said enough. So
Right. But we
thank
will
you.
confirm with you in terms of who bid.
Right.
But also for the specific services, 24 hours and the services that Mr. Richardson indicated, but just so we can close the loop with you, we'll let you know
Sure.
if other entities within the county bid on the procurement.
Okay.
You
Thank,
did say this is the closest, correct? To Baldwin.
Yes, to Baldwin, yes.
right.
Yes, this is the
Because of where
closest
we are
to Baldwin.
located in Baldwin, this was the closest. But we will follow up with you, Councilman.
Good. Thank you.
Councilwoman Bevins, is that it?
Yes, thank you.
For Councilman Quirk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I guess echoing on several comments, I mean, Councilman Catch definitely has it correct. We made huge progress with animal welfare, and I remember as well just how dysfunctional and how acrimonious something that we all agreed on. I mean, it was just terrible. I mean, just terrible. And so, yeah, it's really good to see a county executive and administration that is working well with our volunteers and hand in hand with the advocates. So couldn't agree more, Councilman Catch. And then also just tag teaming with Councilman Marks and Councilman Catch. Yeah, the school shooting in Catonsville, my daughter was right above where it happened, you know, after school class. And it was a little scary. I mean, we didn't think it was an active shooting, thank goodness, but it's pretty scary. And I think this is a shout out to former Councilwoman Vicky Allman as well, is a while ago, there was some movement from, I'd say maybe some more of the political extremes trying to get rid of school resource officers. And I mean, can we not have a better example of why school resource officers are so critically important? I mean, Catonsville High School, our school resource officer was outstanding. I mean, his response was exceptional. And I think we have to really guard against what I would call some of more extreme voices in our county that would like to get rid of our school resource officers in school. It's absolutely just not a non-starter as far as I'm concerned. And I think school resource officers are worth every single dollar. And I also think we need to make sure that the school system make sure that they get their travel expenses and their training that's needed, because this is important. I know Councilman Marks and the president of the school board, Julie Henn, have been working on that as well. But I just wanted to plug that for the administration as well. But another concern is, yeah, I couldn't agree more with Councilman Marks, and I share his concerns very, very deeply about our recruitment of police. You know, I can say I know very, very, very well that we're losing a lot of good police officers to retirement right now, at a rate I think that's concerning, real concerning. I know we have another big wave of police retiring in July, and I would ask the county exec and the administration to really look at this issue and look at this problem, because to me it's a significant issue. And Ms. Rogers, if you're still on, I don't know if you stepped away or not, but you know, I really think we need to look at creativity. You know, for example, you know, some of our police that have retired, they have a lot of experience, they have a lot of knowledge, and that's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot to our county. And so for unfortunately, some of these experienced, really knowledgeable police that are retiring, can we look at other ways, you know, working with our unions and working with the administration to bring some of this talent back? You know, maybe it's not accruing pensions, you know, obviously, but maybe there's other programs that we can expand or look at, because I'm telling you, I mean, I'm very, very concerned. I don't know if it's at the alarm stage yet, but I'm very concerned about all the retirements of the police and all the knowledge and all the experience that literally is walking out the door to retirement. I think it's a significant issue, and I wouldn't even mind having a report from our chief on how we're doing with vacancies. How are we doing with recruitment? What are we doing to keep the experience and the talent that we have that literally is all retiring in the last 6 to 12 months and continue to, by the way, continue to retire in droves that I would say is deeply concerning. I mean, could there not be any better reason to have local government than education and public safety? Well, our police are a big part of that public safety. And unfortunately, I share the concern, Councilman Marks, that we need to really put a lot of focus here, because if we don't, it's going to be a big price to pay. So that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Quirk, thank you for your comments. On the state level, state determined that we were having issues with the lack of teachers in certain areas. And the state legislature did enact legislation that would allow retired teachers to again work for the school system and get their retirement. But it was restricted to certain subject areas and also to troubled students. And it did help. And so it is possible. And I think it's an excellent idea. So,
Woman Bevins, and then you, Ms. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make 2 comments. I had a meeting recently with the leadership of the FOP, and some of the stats that they shared with me with retirements and officers leaving for other jurisdictions was sobering and scary. It
That's
really
right.
was.
I agree.
And with saying that, I was riding through Councilman Crandall's district today, and I noticed on Merritt Boulevard, they had, the great big signs that usually tell you how fast you're going. They talked about a big recruitment that was going to be down in Dundalk, I guess this weekend, maybe I didn't catch it all. I think it was at CCBC, maybe right around there, but I've never seen that before. I've just never seen a big flashing, check us out, we're hiring right there on a major roadway. So I thought that was interesting.
Okay, Ms. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just wanted to address Councilman Quirk, as well as others who talked about the rehired retirees. We do have that capability, and we use that capability. You all made modifications to the legislation for us last summer, enabling us to rehire retirees across the government, but particularly with the police department. We did that. We're able to rehire individuals immediately upon retirement and do that legitimately. I send a list up to you of individuals that we bring back. I sent the most recent list in December to Mr. Chairman. So we have that capacity to do that. The question becomes the willingness of individuals to do so. We know that this is a national issue. This is not just in our jurisdiction, but we're making every effort to prioritize recruitment, as Councilwoman Bevins indicated, not just with the signage and the types of activities, the signing bonuses. We've absolutely put every effort to increasing the number of recruits. The other thing that we've done, we've added a 3rd class for the police department, recruit class for this year, because with each class, that helps to, bring additional new policemen and women on board. So we've done that. So there's a number of things that we're doing, but know that it is Mr. CE's top priority to ensure the safety in our community.
Mr. Chairman.
Rogers, Councilman Quirk.
Yeah, no, I'm very aware of that. And matter of fact, I remember working hand in hand with you, along with Councilman Marks on that legislation. But if I understand it correctly, we have just a handful of police that are using that at the present time. And I talked to a lot of people that aren't aware of it, and that I think we could do a lot more there. I think if we put it out there the right way, I think that could help us in the interim as we're adjusting to losing so much experience and so much knowledge of, unfortunately, a lot of police retiring all at once. Believe me, they are. And so I really wouldn't mind us expanding that program. And, if we have 10 people doing it right now, or whatever the really small number is, why not have 50 or 100? We got a lot of vacancies right now. And I think it's a great way that we can bring back experienced people, not add to our pension funding, very low percentage. But also get the talent that we need and the experience that we need to really groom some of the younger people to ramp them up even more, because there's a big issue there. I mean, I see it every day. So I appreciate that.
Sure, that we definitely don't have a cap on the number of employees who can come, but we will definitely communicate that with the chief as individuals are preparing to depart, their interest and willingness to be a retired rehiree, and it has no impact on the pension system because pension is not paid in. When they come back, it is strictly salary. It does not impact the pension system at all. But we'll definitely share that with Chief Hyatt and her HR staff as individuals are preparing to depart, to poll them on their willingness to do so.
Ms. Rogers, can you let me know or let us know how many vacancies there are today in our police department?
Sure. We can get that information to you.
Yeah,
I'll work with Mr. Beller to get that information to you.
and also how many cadets do you expect to be in the training classes? Will are the training classes going to be have a number of cadets so that they can fill all of these vacancies, some of them, or that we'd like to know.
Sure, we're happy to provide you with that information, and I think another council member indicated desire to have a briefing with Chief Hyatt. We can talk to her about that. Mr. Beller and I will work on that for you.
Excellent.
Councilman, if I could just chime in just for procedurally, cadets do not enter the academy unless they are 21, or they'll turn 21 by the time the class ends. So, and a cadet is 18 to 21. So you will have cadets that will not go into the next academy class.
Right. The academy class and the cadet class are two different classes.
Right. Let me just say, first of all, I appreciate everybody's comment. No question. Let me just add a couple of things, if you don't mind. Number one, in terms of animal services, you're right. We've come a long way, and certainly don't want to take anything away from the current administration. But at the same time, I don't want to take anything away from the members that are here on the call, because a lot of these improvements predate this administration, and the members here on this call have been on the front line pushing for these improvements and funding those improvements. So congratulations to each and every one of you on the call as well. As also to your point, Councilman Quirk, we passed a bill a long time ago giving retirees, our own retirees, an opportunity to come back and work for us. We used to have a situation where we would hire retirees from another police department or another fire department, and they would hire our retirees, but never could we hire our own. We fixed that. So that's a good thing. As it relates to Councilwoman Bevins, be glad you saw the sign. I would just add that event is this Saturday from 10 to 3 at Solars Point Multipurpose Center. Then
There
we
we-
have a Baltimore County Police Department community hiring event this Saturday, 10 to 3 at Solars Point. Now, anything else before we move forward? Great. I really think to the point of providing that opportunity for some of the retirees. They may not be willing to work 24. They may not be willing to work full time, but many of them are going to go out and seek part-time employment. So if they could work a post, maybe even 1 day a month or 2 days a month, whatever help they can provide is be very helpful to us at this time. So we set the ground rules for that to happen. We just urge the administration to take full advantage of it if they're not already. Oh boy, did we ever vote for the fiscal matters? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Motion to
No,
approve
sir.
fiscal matters 1 through 8.
So moved.
Second,
Second, okay. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll of fiscal matters 1 through 8.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
aye.
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka.
Aye.
Guys have it, fiscal matters 1 through 8 are approved. I will now consider all miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
Mr. Chairman, whenever a contract over $25,000 is awarded by a process other than formal competitive bid, it is required that a copy of the contract be given to the council and the nature and parties to the contract be announced by the secretary at the next legislative session following award. There are 11 such contracts on tonight's agenda to be read. The first is a master agreement with Norton Technologies USA Incorporated, doing business as Nortech, software license maintenance support, estimated not to exceed of $200,000. Second is a purchase order with Maryland Supply and Equipment Company, doing business as Mid-Atlantic Medical Supply Company Incorporated, for COVID-19 testing kits, award total $577,500. Third is a purchase order with Worldwide Distributors Incorporated for COVID-19 test kits, award total $850,500. Fourth is a purchase order with Worldwide Distributors Incorporated for COVID-19 test kits, award total of $340,200. The next is a purchase order with Forest Valley Tree and Turf LLC for snow removal at the libraries, award total of $86,929. Sixth is a purchase order with Stanley Convergent Security Solutions Incorporated for the purchase and installation of upgraded exterior security cameras at the detention center, award total of $75,665. Seventh is a purchase order with Worldwide Distributors Incorporated for COVID-19 test kits, award total $691,722. Eighth is a purchase order with Worldwide Distributors for COVID-19 test kits, award total $933,750. Ninth is a purchase order with MWCOG Internet Database Subscriptions. This is for the purchase of the continued subscription to the Law Enforcement Information Data Exchange, known as LINKS, National Capital Region Law Enforcement Database, award total of $30,000. Next is a purchase order with RealTox Labs LLC, doing business as Real Diagnostics for COVID-19 lab testing, award total of $84,000. And last is a purchase order with MDSC Suppliers, doing business as Modern Suppliers LLC for COVID-19 test kits, award total of $376,488. Mr. Chairman.
Any questions or comments from the member?
Chair.
Yes, Ms. Rogers?
I just wanted to reiterate that the various purchase orders for the COVID test kits, we had to go to so many different vendors to try to get the test kits because we were very challenged with the supply chain. But these represent the 100,000 test kits for general government, and also our assistance with expediting the school system. That's why there's so many different ones. We had to go to different vendors to get as many as we could, as quickly as we could.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation. Any additional questions or comments? Okay, Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 4-22. This is sponsored by Mr. Chairman, Councilman Jones. This resolution would authorize the continued review of the planned unit development known as Dogwood Village.
Thank you very much. We discussed it before. Basically, Dogwood Village is on Dogwood Road between Woodlawn Drive and Featherbed Lane. Community certainly welcomes this type of development. It's only 28 townhomes, but it is much needed new development in that area that sees very little new development. And we've worked with the developer in terms of the community benefit. There's going to be a donation to the Woodlawn Volunteer Fire Company, as well as the elementary school around the corner. Any questions or comments from the member? Hearing none, I will move the motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
The movement second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on resolution 4-22.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Resolution 4-22 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 11-22. This is a resolution that would approve a conditional purchase agreement.
Okay, Mr. Blade.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of council. The administration is requesting your approval of Resolution 11-22, authorizing the county to enter into a conditional purchase agreement not to exceed $100 million to finance the cost of various equipment purchases. You may be familiar with our internal terminology for this agreement. We call it the equipment financing package. The purpose of this program is to purchase equipment for various general government agencies and the library. Of the $100 million total, $87,618,020 will be used for general government purchases, while $4,152,700 will be used for the Metropolitan District operations, with the remainder held for contingencies. Some of the equipment planned for the equipment financing package include medics, pumper trucks, ladder trucks, tanker trucks for the fire department, mobile command posts, helicopter and mobile radios for the police department, trucks, trailers, heavy equipment, and mowers for DPWT and property management, a new career book carrier truck, for the library, a boat and dump truck for environmental protection, and devices, radios, and infrastructure for OIT. Pending council approval, we intend to sell certificates of deposit or certificates of participation on March 2nd, 2022, with a 10-year repayment term. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I'm just curious, is that a replacement helicopter for the police?
It is a replacement. We have 3, so we are beginning a replacement schedule of the 3.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the members? $100 million.
Big number.
Big number. Is there a motion to approve resolution 11-22?
I'll move it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the resolution for 11-22.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins,
Aye.
Mr. Quirk,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Resolution 11-22 for $100 million is approved. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr.
Chairman, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Blades, does the the debt service on this $100 million, is that counted with the other debt service for capital bonds, et cetera?
No, it's separate as far as the schedule. We do it for internally, but for the rating agencies, they don't look at it as incorporated that way. So, and this is a life expectancy of 10 years for the debt. The average piece of equipment life expectancy is 5.9 years. So it's different, definitely different than the bonds that we sell.
So does that count against their 9.5% limit or the 2.5% limit?
No, we should be fine there. We are under all of our ratios.
Right, but it does count toward those ratios.
We include it internally for our ratios, but we do not. The rating agencies do not.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I apologize, Mr. Chairman.
No problem. Always good to know how we're going to pay for the 100 million. Any additional questions or comments? Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 12-22. This resolution is sponsored by Councilman Marks and would approve an amendment to the Perry Hall Community Plan.
Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. This legislation amends the Perry Hall Community Plan so that any plan use development proposed within the boundaries of the plan may amend or modify the densities by a maximum of 20%, so long as the development is not an age-restricted senior housing development.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
There is an amendment, Mr. Chairman.
There's an amendment, yeah.
Let's have the first amendment.
Yes, the amendment is there are some minor grammatical changes that are mere technical amendments, and then there is also at the end of the resolution there is an amendment that would reiterate and clarify that the resolution shall take effect and shall apply to any planned unit development proposed within the Perry Hall Community Plan area from the date of its passage by the council. And there is further language that would indicate that the amendment to the Perry Hall Community Plan adopted in the resolution shall only apply to any concept plan filed after the effective date of this resolution. That's the sum and substance of the amendment.
Any questions or comments about the amendment? Yeah, motion to approve the amendment?
I'll move it.
Second.
Seconded. Been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, call the roll on the amendment to resolution 12-22.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The amendment to resolution 12-22 is passed. Any questions or comments before we call the vote for resolution 12-22 as amended? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve resolution 12-22 as amended?
I'll move it.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on resolution 12-22 as amended.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Resolution 12-22 as amended is passed. Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council this evening?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Quirk.
I just have just one thing really quickly for Ms. Rogers and Mr. Blades, and really for the council. Spending Affordability Committee, Chairman Jones was on it, Councilman Marks was on it. We did allow for some exclusions that are going to help plug some of these kind of long-term issues with one-time revenues. And I would just respectfully ask Mr. Blades, who I think is outstanding, by the way, super good guy, very transparent, incredibly good to work with, along with the, we have a really good teamwork going with the audit office and with the Budget Office. So thank you, Mr. Blades, for your work there. And Ms. Rogers, if you could just reiterate to the county executive how important it is to get our pension funding status higher. 62%. It just makes me not sleep at night. And so, compared to our average neighbors, municipalities, many of which are in the mid 70s, it is something that I think we all agree. And I do appreciate, Mr. Blades really helping us and looking at that. But we also know a lot of these decisions, also the county exec's going to weigh in heavily on. And so on my Christmas list, more than anything else, is as much pension funding as we can, given the limited resources we always have. And I do want to recognize that, hey, we've made some big progress on OPEB. But the pension funding, I would definitely respectfully request that the county executive seriously look at the memos that Lauren, our county auditor office, did on the pension. I thought was great. Thank you for that, Lauren and your team. And then, we've obviously put a lot in the spending affordability committee report as well. So I think I speak for everybody in the council that that's a huge priority of everybody's, is try to do as much as we can on the pension funding. And then, in the future, when we're looking at whether it's COLAs or when we're looking at, say, salary increases, I think it's really important to really look at that in a unified way, where we are going to do future COLAs or future salary increases, that we're looking at, the commensurate offsets to make sure that our pension funding status doesn't, slip over time. So it's just something that was on my mind. So I just thought I'd just kind of put that out there, and just hope we get as much as we can on our pension funding, get that moving in the right direction. So thank you.
And Councilmember Quirk, it is indeed another thing at the top of the county executive's list. As you know, we've worked diligently on the OPEB side. We really inherited a very, very serious situation with OPEB, but I'm really, really pleased in the amount of work that we've done there, and we'll continue to work on that side as well. But we recognize that we need to equally focus on the pension side too, and ensure that the sustainability of our pension system. So Mr. CE is definitely, it's on the radar. We've had discussions about it. So Mr. Blades and I and the budget team will be working diligently to come up with our proposed actions there.
Thank you.
Well, let me, Director Blades, were you making a comment?
Yes, sir. I'd just like to add my appreciation to Councilman Quirk for his leadership on the Spending Affordability Committee and giving us that flexibility this year, with being able to fund more toward the retirement system above the annual required contribution. That gives us the flexibility to stay within the spending affordability guidelines. I'm hopeful that that exception extends into future years as well, so that we can continue to move forward with putting a little bit more into that fund for funded status each year. Just as a point of interest, $48 million. It's $48 million to move that needle 1%. So it's a lot. We're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Let me also, first of all, thank you, Councilman Quirk, for your leadership on the spending affordability. You have a level of expertise that the rest of us on the council do not have, and you've been able to utilize that expertise to guide us and provide leadership on the Spending Affordability Committee for many, many years. And we will certainly miss your expertise next year, and we'll do our best to try to make it under the help of Director Blades. But you've been there and you provided a steady hand in terms of helping us do the right thing for the citizens of Baltimore County, and continue to make sure that we can live within our means. So we certainly appreciate you so much. And of course, I appreciate all the members who participated on this spending affordability committee. And I don't know if I can, I mean, listen, no one said anything. Can I say anything about a COLA? No. No? No? Don't say anything? What do you say, Director Blades?
Well, I could report that the Employee Retirement System Board did approve a 3% COLA for retirees effective July 1st. This is based on changing the assumptions used for the PRIF calculation. And by changing those assumptions combined with investment income earned by the system, we were able to approve a 3% COLA.
Thank you so much. And I know that cost us about 66 million, but you assured me we have several billion or a few billion in the pension.
Yes.
And Councilman Quirk, to your point, once again, while we congratulating you and thanking you, we were there yelling and fussing that we need to make more money on them retirement dollars so that we can provide these much needed cost of living adjustments to our retirees. And I applaud the county executive and the pension board because this is like their first COLA in probably close to 10 years. And anyone know anything about a dollar, your money, you know, through the inflation and time, it just, if it's not growing, it's declining, it's shrinking. So I know it's much needed to the employees, to our retirees. So.
And fortunately, it came out of the PRIF and, you know, looking at 5-year smoothing. And so that was definitely important. And another shout out to Mr. Blades for really confirming that and you know, getting right back to us as well. So that definitely teamwork, and yeah, I'm happy to hear that. That's you know, mutually exclusive of the other challenge that we have for the overall system. But you know, I mean, we're all rowing the same boat, and we all share the same goals. And so, and I agree, Mr. Blades, long into the future, I wouldn't mind having that exclusion, especially if we're adding more and more to the pension funding. I think that definitely makes a lot of sense for sure.
Oh, any additional questions or comments?
Good girl.
No, any further business to come before the council? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, there is no further business. I can't find that darn mute button.
That's okay, silence is consent. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, the meeting is adjourned as is customary. Anyone who is registered to speak online prior to the meeting is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Ms. Belcastro, do we have any speakers this evening?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair. We have one registered speaker, Preston Snedegar.
Oh boy.
All right.
Mr. Snedegar?
Yeah, am I here? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You may begin your
All
3
right,
minutes.
we have some problems. On the speaker's registration form you have, it says 11 in the morning till 5 in the evening. You can sign up to speak here. Let me tell you when it was closed. Closed 11:02, closed 11:03, closed 11:04, closed 11:05, closed 11:06, closed 11:07, closed 11:08, closed 11:09, all the way up to they didn't open it up until 3:30. I'm appalled at all of you. You can't even do simple things. Okay? We're going to have a battle with Kathy Bevins. And one thing's the problem with the police and the schools. No people are punished. Kathy Bevins falls under that. You're as corrupt as the police in anything bad department. She does something, doesn't have a penalty. Pisses me off like you wouldn't believe. There will be suit filed in the eyes of March. Beware the eyes of March and President. Okay? You can't even do a list. Okay? Equipment. It goes by hours. It doesn't go by years. What were the hours on that equipment before they decided to sell it and get new? You ought to be able to know what you're talking about. You don't even know that. Now y'all feel bad, and you're on the hot seat too, Chairman. Some of the things you should have done, you didn't do. You're allowed under the charter to enforce it. You did enforce it for Kathy Bevins. And it's written there, and it doesn't have any damn thing about how do we, what is that? Choose a vacated position. That's bullshit lies. Okay, and I got some letters up to the Attorney General. All right?
Please refrain from using profanity.
Oh, I don't want to upset you, do I? And you, the way you treat me, I say something, I'm a little loud now. Okay? You treat the people that you really work for like crap. You do your own thing. You don't want to be bothered by them. That's why oh, you can't ask a question. The Constitution says I can ask a question. Who the hell are you to tell me I can't? Who the hell are you to tell me? And your board and everything else. I'm going to run for Kathy Bevan's seat. I'm the best thing you ever have. I will fix everything. I'll work my ass off. But I want something done right. Now, you got any questions for me? Fire away. Be hard as hell. I'm good at it.
Listen, we certainly appreciate your comments.
No, you don't.
And no, I do appreciate your comments. And only thing I would add is you have some problems over there in Ukraine right now. Maybe the president of the United States can use your help to fix that. But other than that, we'll accept any help you want to offer us.
Hours, not years. Big equipment. Goes by hours they use them. One there, I'll give you one every day. They should give you that on that. The big equipment, big bucks. It has large hours you trade it in, it has low hours you keep it. Simple as that.
$100 million is some big bucks.
Well,
but
you get a little piece of it.
You're right about the hours, and I'm certain we have people that are looking at that.
I'm not certain. They couldn't get this little sign a piece of paper coming and talk to people. I did a bunch of times. Everything I see has a problem. I'm an MBA CPA. I can fix it. Okay, I just got to get people out of the way or say, hey, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm a little hard. But damn thing, if I say I'm going to fix it, I'm going to fix it. Hope to see you when I win. 6th District, Preston R. Snedeker. I got one paper, and I have my own funding. I don't have to worry about asking anybody for money.
Well, hurry up. The date's coming up quick.
Yeah, I know it is. They extended it. I know that too.
Good luck.
Well, listen, we certainly appreciate your comment, and thanks for calling in. And one of the things I'm always most proud of with the county council is our ability to give people, anyone in Baltimore County, and to be quite frank, we've had many callers that don't even live in the county. Anyone the opportunity to come here for 3 minutes to say whatever they would like to say. And I'm always reminded to tell people, you can't do this at the General Assembly. You can speak when they give you, when you testify, and they allowed you to testify. You can't do this in Washington. You can speak when you're a speaker for a particular bill and they invite you. Only here at the county council do we allow anyone to sign up and speak for 3 minutes. And sometimes we like what you say, sometimes we don't. But one thing's for sure, each and every one of us will work hard to defend your right to say it. And thank you for participating.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I just want to clarify. I am the person, the council administrator, that puts the sign-up sheet online. And today the sign-up was open from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. I do the application that we use, Site Executive. You can go back and show, that particular page, what was live at that time. So I can show that it was live at that time. I can also say that Mr. Snedeker has come in person to our office. I have spoken to him personally. He has indicated that he was unable to sign up to speak because he didn't have access to a computer, to which I offered for him to call me by phone or call our office by phone, and the staff person or myself would have signed him up ourselves for him online. So I just wanted to let that be known to the council members.
Well, thank you so very much for that explanation or additional information, I should say. And I guess, are there any additional speakers? You said just one. That was it?
That was it, Mr. Chair.
Any questions or comments from the members before we adjourn? Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, council members.
Good night, all. Thank you.
Good night.